Oh boy, I sure do love Nintendo games. I love paying $80 for mid-video games. I just love buying a $500 console with no games on it. I spent $580 just to play Mario Kart World. Hey there, Soy Jack. Oh, hello there, wife. I was just getting into an argument on the internet about Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom and how it's a great game. Oh, what? Wow, that sounds really cool, Soy Jack. Hey, my second boyfriend is coming over in a couple minutes, so I was just wondering if you could keep it down a little? Sure thing, dear. Oh boy, I sure do love my wife's second boyfriend. He's just really nice. He's a really nice guy. Oh boy, here he is. Hey there, buddy. Hey man, I got you something as thanks for letting me plow your wife.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
Oh, wowee! Metroid Prime 4! I hear that this game is doing great online! Haha, that's sure right, buckaroo. Now you make sure to keep those headphones on. Ah, Nintendo fans. Is there anybody else sillier on the entire planet? You see, back in the day, Nintendo... Oh, hold on, someone's at the door. Are you the guy who's making a video about Nintendo? I might be. Who are you? Nintendo's legal department. Here, this is for you. Oh, what? Ah, Nintendo. You see, back in the day, Nintendo was one of the giants of gaming, and they could do no wrong. They were really hailed as one of the good guys, you know? Back in the 2010s and 2012, people really loved Nintendo. They could do no wrong. But over the last 5 or 10 years, they've completely took all the goodwill that their fans have had and completely flushed it down the toilet. In today's video, we're going to be looking at how Nintendo destroyed years of good faith, starting with the top main 3 reasons and kind of just going into and explaining each one. So without further ado, let's get yapping about reason number 1 here, the lawsuits. Nintendo hates their fans, and they are very trigger-happy with litigation against their fans. The number of fan games and fan projects that Nintendo has gotten taken down due to cease and desists and threatening litigation is somewhere close to 500. That's right, 500 fan games taken down, and in fact, in 2021, Nintendo issued mass DMCA takedowns that got 379 fan projects removed from the internet. Not only that, but Nintendo is also very trigger happy to press litigation against any content creators, with multiple instances of popular Nintendo YouTubers having almost their entire accounts removed because of the whims of Nintendo. This issue has gotten so bad over the last 6 years that multiple memes have been made about Nintendo suing impoverished children into oblivion for daring to make a cardboard Mario toy, which isn't that much of an exaggeration. The end result of this is that people are terrified of Nintendo. People are terrified to draw fan art of Nintendo games. People are terrified to make videos of Nintendo games, and people are terrified of, especially, making fan projects. This has earned Nintendo quite the negative reputation because most companies either don't care about fan games or mods or treat them favorably, like companies like Bethesda. But Nintendo is a special case to where if you are making fan content of their IPs, eventually they will come after you. Nintendo has gotten so good at suing people over the years, you'd honestly think they were an Israeli asset working for the United States government as active sitting president. Seriously, Nintendo's legal team is twice as efficient as any of the lawyers that are defending any of the people that were on Epstein Island. This by itself isn't a huge issue if Nintendo was making good games, but combine this with our second issue, and you have a recipe for disaster. Issue number 2 being the general overall decline in quality of Nintendo products and games over the last 5 years. I forgot to mention this while recording Chapter 1, but also Nintendo tries to copyright basic fucking game design concepts like jumping or summoning enemies at any chance that they get. They usually never go through, but it's still a very scummy practice. Now, I'm going to make 3 statements that millennial and older Gen Z members of this audience are not going to like. Yoshi's Island came out 30 years ago. The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker came out 22 years ago. The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess just turned 20 years old this year. Did those statements make you feel old? Good, because they also made me feel old too. Most of the games that people use as good examples of Nintendo games released in the recent years are over 15 years old, are over 10 years old at this point. Unless you just started playing video games 5 years ago, it's time for most of us to accept that Nintendo's best games are far behind them. I was never a big Pokemon person, mostly because I'm actually cool, I had a social life, but most of the people who played Pokemon share the sentiment that Pokemon games have gotten laughably bad lately. So much so that literally some random guy made a better 3D Pokemon game than the AAA devs that are being paid millions to make a Pokemon game. Don't get me wrong, I think Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and Super Mario Odyssey are both great titles in their respective series, but I'm not going to pretend like they're better than what came before it, because in most cases, they're really not. Combine this with the fact that they are the ones who normalized $80 video games that are mid, and the fact that the AI hardware shortage is about to drive Nintendo Switch 2 prices up even further than they did when old Donny Boy released his tariffs. Meaning the only people who are playing Nintendo Switch 2 are millennial man-children who shelled out $500 for it, or rich kids. I myself, like many other people, bought a Nintendo Switch, and it soon collected dust for years on my shelf because Nintendo barely released anything worth playing on it. Seriously, I have a Nintendo Switch, thing's been a paperweight for years because after Mario and Breath of the Wild, there was nothing good to play on it that weren't indie games that I could already find on Steam. The fact of the matter is it's simply not worth paying the premium prices that Nintendo charges for their consoles if they're only going to release 3 games for it in its entire 5-year lifespan. Nintendo used to have plenty of IPs that they made games for on their consoles, and they've pretty much butchered all of them. There are no Star Fox games, and there are no F-Zero games released in the last 20 years. Both the Nintendo Switch 1 and 2's biggest selling point is the fact that you can play Hollow Knight on it, and that's pretty much it. And if you don't agree with these statements, or these statements get you upset, this leads me into my third reason why Nintendo's reputation has fallen so hard, and that's Nintendo fans themselves. Nintendo fans are the Disney adults of gaming. They make their entire personality supporting and defending a multi-billion-dollar corporation that makes media for children, much like Disney adults. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with enjoying media targeted towards kids. A lot of it is pretty fun. But you should at least be aware that if you're going to center your personality around a company like that, or spend a huge amount of time talking about stuff like that, that you're going to seem like a soy boy to normal people. And I say that as a soy boy chud myself. Nintendo adults are the only people on the planet who have had multiple soy jacks made of them. Literally, most soy jacks are taken from Nintendo fan images on Reddit, and in fact, the opening skit of this video is based on a real-ass meme of a Nintendo fan. These people are genuinely so embarrassing that they make other people not want to play Nintendo games for fear of being associated to these people. That's how bad the average Nintendo adult is. Anyways, this has been me with another video that I'm sure the algorithm will disappear into oblivion. It's been nice talking to you gamers. You stay safe out there.